Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't have my mic on, but hopefully you can hear us. Hi everyone. It's Angela
Lamar.
and we are here for our live. If we have not introduced ourselves, we are a expat couple who moved abroad years ago to be able to experience life and life abundantly. I'm glad you could join us on our makeshift YouTube home.
Yes.
If this is your first time, welcome, 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 welcome. If you are a return visitor, listen, sit back with your feet held up and your favorite beverage and or snack. And let's get going so that we can have our live.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay. All right. Guess what today is?
It's the day after Halloween.
It is. Halloween is October 31st and
Today is
November 1st, which means it's
it's the first of the month.
It's the first of the month. Yes.
That's not all.
Indeed. We're trying to get our microphone on. Lamar says that's not on. Can you guys hear us?
There's a button on the side.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Lamar, what are you talking about? Oh, okay, sorry. All right, guys. Lamar said it. Today is the first of the month. And you know what that means?
It's up top.
You know what that means?
No.
Hold on. All right. Nope, didn't work.
Give it here, please.
Okay, hold on, guys. Oh, no, there. All right. Hopefully you can hear us. Probably not because it wasn't on. All right, we'll keep rocking and rolling anyway.
Yeah.
It's the first of the month.
Just call me last
Hold
night.
on a second. This is a disaster. We're disastering.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's the first of the month?
Yes.
It's Bone Thugs and Harmony. I know
Yes. Close.
that. Yeah. But
What does that mean?
Get your paychecks or something like that.
Oh, gosh. If this is your first time joining us, it's our theme music. It's the first of the month. So grab your checks and get up. Hey, it's the first of the month. Can you guys hear us? Let's make sure you can hear us.
Can you hear us?
If you could say hi. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sophia. If you can hear us, say hi. If you can't, put a comment in the thing. I think just to make sure people can hear us.
Make sure you can hear us.
If you can hear us, that's great. Okay, great. You can hear us.
Thank
Okay,
you,
cool.
Sophia.
Thank you. Yes, it's the first. I think you don't like our theme music.
I don't know your theme music.
You should know it by now, Lamar. It's Bone Thugs and Harmony. I think you want, it's the first of the month. Hey, jazz hands. Get up. Hey, wow. Do some. I think that's what you want. All right. So anyway, if you joined us for this month's live, then you've already seen what the title is. And what we're going to be discussing is why we chose Mexico as our place to move abroad. But bigger than that, we're going to help you formulate your list and figure out what place is best for you in terms of moving abroad.
Yep.
Is that good?
That's good. That's terrific.
Okay. So a couple years ago, or I would probably, actually, it's more than that.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it.
I wanted to move abroad probably as early as 2010, 2011, wanted to move abroad. Lamar wasn't on board. However, when he did get on board, that really had us thinking about what place would really suit us both, what places would allow us to thrive. Could we thrive abroad? I mean, that was a lot of our consideration in terms of getting to that point.
Yeah.
Could we even do this? Right? So when you are choosing your location and when you are coming to your own thought process in terms of moving abroad, because it is a huge step. No joke. It is a major step. We want to help you be able to think about what considerations you should take when you are trying to make your move abroad.
It's a huge step for someone like me.
Why do you say someone like you?
I was going to say,
Okay.
because I wasn't used to moving around a lot.
Yeah.
So this was a stretching event for me. It was a stretching event for me. It proved beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't regret it. But it was taking me out of my comfort zone. So there may be someone that spouse or partner that you may be with that may be like me. However, part of it is a little fear
Yeah.
of the unknown.
Yeah, true.
Some of it may be just the fact of you feel comfortable in where you are. Oh my. Come here, little girl. Come here, little girl. There we go. This Coco.
This is our terrorist Coco.
Yeah, terrorist Coco.
She decides that she wants to be a part of our life.
That's not something to eat.
Yes, Coco.
Yes, Coco.
So anyway, we want to make sure that we give you our tips and tricks and our thoughts on how to make the best choice for whatever country you're trying to move abroad to. Listen, it's a humongous world out here.
Yes, it is.
And so much more than what typically those of us who've been from the United States are even exposed to.
Well, and also, my experience has been that for people of color, African Americans, sometimes they don't get out of their communities because of income, because of the fact that it's difficult for someone who doesn't have the financial means to travel. Speaking
of which, it's still not too late for you to join and take part in the replays of the Exodus Summit.
Yes.
Exodus Summit was an awesome event that has taken place for the last 5 years. And it's for community-minded people just like you who are interested in moving abroad. So we will make sure that link is in the description box below. So if you are interested in taking part of the replays that happen for Exodus Summit, we'll make sure that that link is abroad for you.
Right.
Okay, so we are always here for a short time, not for a long time. We want to make sure you are here for a good time. And so we want to make sure we hit all the points. So you ready to jump in?
Yep.
So one of the major questions that we get all the time is, what is it like? What do I think about? How do I get started? And we always give and lead with this one piece of advice. When choosing a country, when you're moving abroad, you have to first and foremost consider what is important to you, and what that impact is going to be on your life. It's not going to be the same for everybody. It honestly isn't. It's not going to be the same for each, or for different people. It's going to be different. And so for you, you have to think about what things matter to me and really get in tune with that before you even make those leaps abroad. Perhaps if you are not sure of what is important to you, or you don't know what you don't know, it's probably better to spend some time hopping around, maybe just doing some extended trips here and there, just to get a feel for what you like and what you don't like. I mean, you really wouldn't know that being in a country where people don't speak the language really is upsetting to me.
You can't eat that.
Being in a place where all the food is different is upsetting to me, or things
Especially
like
for
that.
someone like me who's a little on the picky side. I am a little picky. I've grown, but in my choices of food and things like that, and what I will eat and what I won't. However, I'm still on the picky side. I'm not ashamed of it. I like what I like.
I know that's right. And you need to know that about yourself. To know that what you do and don't like, what you will and won't tolerate, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because here in where we are in Mexico, they like stuff spicy. Spicy. I mean, real spicy.
Yeah, that's true.
Real spicy. There are things that snuck up on me, and I was like, oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So it's kind of important to make sure you think about that first. But what would you say are some of the common challenges that people face when they're selecting a country?
Culture.
Mm.
Culture.
Wait, culture. Why are the cultural what?
The
differences?
The differences. How
Cultural
things
differences.
different. I mean, one of the obvious things here in Mexico, maybe different somewhere else in the world, schedules. They give you a schedule, but they kind of don't keep that time schedule. So it's kind of a loose suggestion. And so getting used to that and just getting with it. I saw something recently where someone was saying, don't get upset about something, just step around it. It was actually Sinbad, but in that comedy sketch. But he was talking about the dropping of the shirt. But that's also applies to a lot of things. There's certain things that I don't think that you should take so much to heart or personally, or just roll with the punches, experience something new.
Yeah.
Because, here culturally, there are things here that they do differently. Like we've noticed with how they treat their elderly,
right,
and how they take care of their elderly.
I actually love that.
Yes,
that is something that I absolutely adore about where we live.
Right.
The difference in how they regard their elderly, the care and love and family support. Mexico, where we live, is a very family oriented culture.
Yes,
very family oriented culture. And so if family is not your thing, or if you're going to be away from family and not here with family, or family is not planning to come visit or things like that, and that's not something that necessarily drives you, but that is something that you would need to know. Cultural differences would apply to things like how women are regarded.
Yes.
If you are, say, in a Muslim country, or all Muslim country, or the patriarchal kind of establishment of how things are done. Like a man has to speak for the woman. She can't speak.
And we've noticed that here, dealing with a landlord who, he spoke for his wife. His wife did not, in a way, have a voice when it came to the decisions, even though maybe they did talk about it on the back end, but he did all of the talking. And I noticed that when that particular landlord came to us, he wanted to speak to me and not to you.
Right. And that's different from what I'm used to. However, if you were, say, living in Mauritius in Africa, women run things. So there's some cultural differences that you need to be aware of and pay attention to when you are considering a country.
Yes.
That's, am I going to be able to exist or thrive in this particular culture? If you know that you are a fierce, strong-headed bad bitch, and and you know that is not something that you will ever tolerate,
Right.
then being in a country that is kind of male-dominated, male-oriented, or that kind of heavy patriarchy is not going to be your zhuzh, it's not going to be your bag. So that is something that you want to rule out, but definitely take a look at and compare the cultural differences.
Yeah.
My thing first and foremost that I would probably go with is cost of living.
Yeah, that's a biggie. That's truly a biggie.
I mean, what we doing?
Right.
If you can't afford the country, then what are we doing? We might as well be back in the United States.
Especially if you are of age of retirement and you're getting ready to switch over to your pension
Absolutely.
/ Social Security. You want to make sure that
the cost of living is stable, or the cost of living is within your means.
Right.
You know, to jump out there or to jump into a new country and then have the costs soar from what you would normally expect, or what your budget can normally afford. That's a huge thing.
Right.
So definitely, first and foremost, thinking about what the cost of living is in that country. There are a number of sites that can help you. Numbeo, Numbeo, I believe is how you spell it. Numbeo, that's a great website to be able to decide or determine if a country has how much things cost. I'm blanking on the other one. That's one that's very close linked to it too as well, but I will put that in the description bar below for you because I can't remember. It's forgot what the Earth Awaits. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The Earth Awaits. But that's also another good site to help you figure out what your financial expenses may be, how much things cost, that type of thing. That's always a good thing to consider. Cost of living is going to be huge. And then also, as I say this, cost of living, you also want to consider the currency exchange.
Yes.
The currency exchange rate, because that can make a humongous difference just having the currency exchange rate change.
Yes.
I know when we first got here to Mexico, the cost of living or the currency exchange was like $1 to $1 equals 20 pesos.
Yes.
Sometimes I've seen it go up to 2022, which is fantastic. It's wonderful.
Right.
But when the dollar weakened, then it dropped to maybe 16 pesos.
16 pesos, yes.
For every dollar.
Right now it's set almost at 20.
It's almost back at 20 or somewhere around there if it hasn't already hit that today. However, that makes, when it dropped down to 16,
oh yeah, that causes some.
That meant everything. I mean, your rent has not gone up, has not increased in terms of the pesos that you have to fork over every month.
Right.
But the money in terms of the exchange, the dollars that you would be spending,
right,
it changes the scenario.
Yes, it
big
does.
time. And so you want to make sure that you look at not only how much a place costs to live, but also look at
the exchange rate.
The exchange rate.
And for us here, we're rooting for the United States economy from the standpoint of the exchange rate and the strength of the dollar, and how it is outpacing all countries pretty much at this moment.
Right.
And how it is really affecting the exchange rate here with the pesos, which is making it great for us.
Now, if a certain person who orange shall not remain.
You talking about the rotten pumpkin?
The great pumpkin.
No, not great. That's not great. It's a like somebody said, it's a rotten hollow pumpkin that we'll get rid of.
If y'all haven't voted, make sure you go out and vote.
Yes.
Make sure you vote. But if tariffs get implemented,
right,
that's going to change a whole lot. That's going to make a huge ripple effect throughout the entire world. So cost of living is going to be something that is a major source of consternation if you haven't thought of it right now.
Yes.
Legal requirements.
Yes, legal requirements as far as immigration.
Yes.
We're actually contemplating, since we drove here, to import our car. So that's a legal issue that we have to delve into,
right,
to take care of.
As temporary residents in Mexico, you're allowed to bring your foreign plated car into Mexico as long as you have a temporary import permit.
Right.
However, after 4 years of being a temporary resident, your residency status can flip over to, at that point,
Permanent.
into permanent, at which point you're not allowed to have a temporary
Foreign
foreign plated car.
Yeah, so that's why we're looking at the vehicle we have now as switching it over.
But what legal rights do you have?
Right.
That's something to consider.
Sure.
As a resident, do some countries require, if I wanted to become a citizen, that I have to renounce my U.S. citizenship? How do I become a resident of that country? What process is it? In Mexico, you have to start the process in your home country,
Right.
but then you finish it in Mexico after you've been given approval. So things are different all around the world. Some
Right.
countries have what they call digital nomad visas for persons who work remotely, and they're trying to lure this talent into their country and offer a very sweet visa for those persons who want to come and work there. Some countries have residencies that you can get by birth, by sheer fact that my father or my mother is of that country's descent. I can now also become a resident of that country. Or some countries offer residencies based upon financial investment.
Sure.
If I come and plunk a good portion of cash down and put that in your country,
As they say, money talks and something walks.
then that means I can be able to stay in your country.
Yeah.
In Mexico, we have pretty much most of all the rights as a temporary resident.
Except
The
for-
only thing we can't do
is vote.
actually is two things.
What's that?
You can't vote and you can't protest.
Okay. Yeah.
You cannot protest. If you are caught out on the Mexico streets, protesting or whatever, they will send you back, and they'll be like, you don't like it here, you can adios.
Right.
So legal requirements is a very important thing to consider. For some of the countries in the European Union, they require that you have a bank account and all kinds of other things established in the country first before you can.
Right.
That means I have to spend time in country. Some countries have requirements in terms of how long you can be out of the country. Some require that you can only be out of the country no more than 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's a consideration,
Right.
Especially if you want to maybe do some bopping around and spend some time in this country and spend some time in that country and all that kind of stuff. You want to consider those things when you're making your choice to move abroad. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Okay. So having given those things, did we cover everything? Oh, I know one.
Religious.
Religious differences.
Religious differences.
Religious. Boom, boom.
Oh, boom, boom. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
they here in Querétaro in Mexico, period, they celebrate patron saints.
Mm-hmm. It's a Catholic.
Yes.
A predominantly Catholic country.
And recently it was Saint.
Child.
Now it translated to James, but it was probably something else.
Sandideo,
Sandideo.
or something. I don't remember what the.
However, from Saturday through Monday, they don't shoot up the pretty fireworks, the floral looking, nice, pretty, bright colors. It's just the concussions. And man, and then there's a church right
behind
them
the concussions. He's like these cannon sound.
Yeah, they are dropping them right in the court here. The dogs are going crazy, barking, and it's loud.
Right. But
and the thing about it, they do it to the wee hours of the morning, and they start at 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm. That might actually be another part of cultural differences too, because they like to partay.
And they will party. There was a party down the street, and actually behind us, they were singing karaoke until 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So, and they like a good party. Now, if you like a good party,
this is the place.
This is the place.
Yeah, for sure. But religious differences is key.
Oh.
It's very important,
Yeah.
especially if you are one who is religious. And now, if you're Catholic and you move to a Catholic country, you're going to love it.
Yes.
And particularly here in Mexico, if you enjoy Christmas,
yes,
honey, let me tell you, right? Today is Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, and it'll be today and tomorrow.
Yes.
Although today, tomorrow, probably the next day after that
Yeah.
too, and it started maybe a week ago.
And we're hearing a little boom boom behind
Yeah, just
that.
a little bit, just a little bit. But that's a cultural day or week, really.
Yes.
Honestly, it's more like a week
Yes.
in which people are remembering fondly their loved ones, those who have passed on.
Yeah.
Just kind of a time for persons or just the entire country to have a little personal introspection and as they say, pour one out for the homies, for the ones who've already who've been lost.
Right.
And so it's a beautiful cultural experience. It's a beautiful, in a way, a very religious experience,
Yes.
or what have you. But that's a difference. They tend to, here in Mexico anyway, begin right after Dia de los Muertos. It's Christmas season.
Yes. Because Thanksgiving here is not celebrated. That's a United States holiday, but they do make concessions. We see turkey baking pans and stuff
I think
like
they
that.
just think of it as another opportunity to celebrate.
Yes.
I mean, it's on and popping from
Yes.
today on
to the new year,
past the new year.
Yes,
past the new year,
and you will get a lot of boom boom from here on out throughout until the new year. Fireworks displays. Downtown Central is beautiful. The decorations are fantastic.
It's about to be on and popping
Yes.
here in Mexico, and I am here for it because I am a Christmas girly. Yes. And so the entire, I mean, all of I'm sure this is probably this way back home in the States, in the US, but every store is ready for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
now.
They're
ready. They've already put their Christmas decorations. It's Christmas.
Yes.
Dang what you heard. It's Christmas.
It is Christmas time. We were at the Walmart here and there was a pink Christmas tree.
Pink Christmas trees, white Christmas, all kinds of, I mean, just it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Yep.
So it will be Christmas from now until
and then what is the bread that has
I know what he's talking about. You're not talking about pan de muerto, which is for Day of the Dead
for
bread.
Christmas that has the little porcelain
Three Kings. It's the Three Kings Day. They have a bread that is specifically for that, and they put a little king inside the bread. And
they'll
you bite
put a little
into
baby
it,
Jesus,
like a little porcelain, not a little, some
it's
sort of
porcelain.
little. Is it porcelain?
Yeah,
some sort of little figurine that they tuck into the bread. And so you slice it. If you're the lucky one that gets the bread, with the little figurine in it, that it's supposed to be a good luck type of blessing for you or what have you. But there are a lot of religious differences to make note of. There's holidays that suddenly will pop up because in your country they're celebrating that. Ramadan, if you are in the Middle East or in other predominantly Muslim countries, Ramadan is huge. And things will be closed and all that kind of stuff. And that's just how it is. I know that for in Ethiopia, for example, this is not necessarily tied to religion. However, their courts close down during the summer months.
Yes, they do.
And they're closed all summer.
All summer. So if you're trying to do any kind of...
get some business done, transactions done.
Forget it.
It's closed. The court system, the government court system is closed. So there's some differences that kind of will have to, that you might have to take into consideration when you're going to consider moving abroad.
Well, I'm actually holding one.
You're holding one?
Yeah, cultural differences. They love dogs here.
True.
They love dogs. Dogs everywhere. Dogs, and actually, in a way, they kind of have a little bit of a dog problem here. But they love dogs, and so if you're not a dog lover,
they do.
But if you love dogs, they got dogs.
And I do.
They have plenty.
They bring their dogs. You can take your dog to the restaurant.
Yes.
A restaurant where you can sit outside.
Right.
And
they'll have a bowl of water.
They'll bring a bowl of water for your dog.
They'll have treats. They have treats for the dogs.
They'll have treats for your dog. You can take your dog to the mall.
Yes. Antiem Mall here, we walk through the mall and we see puppies roaming through there all
It's
the time.
not like just off
Off
the leash kind of
no.
roam. You said roaming, like they were just running
No.
like a pack of wolves.
No, but the owners are walking them on their leash through the stores.
Right.
Now, this little Coco here, she's not ready for that.
She's not ready for that. She is
neither is
not well
Louis.
behaved.
No, and Louis, and then,
She is not.
you know, I don't feel like picking up little Tootsie Rolls.
Oh yeah, we're not doing that. We're not
no,
doing that. We'll have to wait until we get her a little more trained
Yes.
to be able to experience that part of the culture
Yeah.
or what have you. But okay, so we've talked about some of the things that, or some of the challenges. Or whatever. Now I want to talk about what, or when you're choosing a country, what are some of the things that you should consider?
Yeah.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Food.
Oh, yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
Climate.
True.
Climate here.
Okay, can we pause here for a climate? We grew up in the Washington, D.C., DMV area.
Yes.
We are no stranger to snow. Matter of fact, DC gets all the seasons, all 4 seasons. And I must say, all 4 seasons are beautiful.
Fall, we're missing it now because
absolutely gorgeous in the DMV at fall.
Yeah, fall.
Absolutely
the
gorgeous.
Change in colors, the flowers, the leaf changes,
beautiful.
all of it. It is.
Just absolutely beautiful. Yeah. But summers can be brutal with the humidity
and the heat.
Yes. Can be brutal. Spring could be cold.
Yes.
It may say it's spring, but it might actually be, 20 degrees.
We've
outside.
seen it actually snow in the DMV.
Yeah. We've seen it snow in the fall.
Yes.
So the weather is definitely something to consider if that is your bag. Now, if you know that I don't like it hot, I don't like sand, I don't like beaches, I don't like all that water type thing. Give me mountains, give me a lake, maybe give me, trees and things of that nature. Then, that's you, or if you're the concrete jungle type that loves that a city has energy or has popping, you want to be in the place, you want to be where the lights are going and people are, and you don't have to rely on having your own vehicle. You could be a part and use public transportation to get around because you want to be in the thick of the action.
Yeah,
that could be your consideration. Yeah. You need to know that about yourself. Mm-hmm. What type of place do you like? Are you suburban? Do you like it more rural and farm and bucolic and just peaceful and quiet and want to have goats and chickens and maybe do a homestead?
Although you get that kind of here.
But that's what you have to kind of, you need to know that and think about that, about, what am I actually aiming for and what does this country offer? Now, for us, we're lucky.
Yeah.
We're very lucky because Mexico has all of that. It has all of those things. So
you can be driving down the highway like we were, and Candy had a fit about the horses that were grazing on the side of the road,
or the guy riding his horse right beside your car.
Yes.
It's okay.
Or the goats that are in the field,
across the street from your house.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Chickens in the morning, we hear the roosters crowing around
and the
here.
Cockadoodle doing and all that kind of stuff. And then we've got other parts of Querétaro in particular that are full-fledged city.
Yes.
And all day, every day, stuff going on, all that kind of stuff. So you really have to consider some of your preferences in terms of location.
Yeah.
Now listen, our oldest is living here in Mexico. She lives in Mexico City because for her, the energy of the city, the just having something to do all the time. There's cultural events and theater and movies and nightclubs and all that kind of stuff. I mean, she's young. Yeah. So that is what her zhuzh is. That's what appeals to her. Now me, not so much.
No.
I like to go to bed.
Yeah, well, and the thing about it is that it's the noise, the traffic.
Oh, traffic. That's true.
Ooh.
Consider that too.
Oh yeah.
Consider that too.
So that's there can be some traffic here because this city is growing,
Yes, true.
but not like Mexico City
Yeah,
is.
true. Right.
Oof.
And if you already know that's not going to be your zhuzh, then you already know.
Yeah.
You already know. Another thing to consider when you're in that goes along with picking your city is the job opportunities.
Yes.
Like, okay, so how am I going to afford my lifestyle? Am I working abroad? Am I working remotely?
Right.
Do I have my own business that I can run and it's
Are
location
you-
independent?
Do you have skills and talents that you can bring that you can start a business or contract or that kind of thing in the place where you move?
That's very true. Lamar is a system administrator guru. He worked for federal contracts and for at the NS. Well, I keep saying it's at Fort Meade,
Yes.
the
Just a
Defense Information Systems Agency.
Yes.
In their top secret SCIF department, network administration. So that is his zhuzh, to be able to hook up networks and internet security, all of those kinds of things. That's his bag. So in terms of coming to another country, perhaps you are bringing those skills with you that you
Right.
may be able to create a business for yourself, if not working for the local, for someone in a local capacity.
Right.
Knowing what skills and opportunities that you, or skills and abilities that you have, will dictate whatever opportunities you may be able to make for yourself. And that's something that you definitely need to consider before when you're moving abroad. Now, if you have retired and you already have your pension and you are living la vida loca on the on your Social Security, have at it.
Yes, have a
Definitely have a ball, and but know what kind of limitations you have in terms of your income when you're making your move or selecting your move abroad. One thing that's been heavy on my mind lately, healthcare.
Healthcare, yeah.
Knowing what healthcare, learning about what healthcare is available to you in whatever country that you're considering, that's a major thing. Now, there is a misconception, I would say a misconception when talking about healthcare when you are particularly coming from the United States. People from the United States have the opinion,
yes, and it's
the misguided opinion,
and it's fueled by propaganda and misinformation,
that the only place that you can get quality health care is in the United States.
No.
That is not true. That is not true. And if you take nothing else away from this, our web experience today, know that there's plenty of quality, very good A1 healthcare in countries other than the United States.
And the cost is much less.
You need to say that one more again.
The cost is much less.
Because I myself have had to have some healthcare while we've been here in Mexico, as well as before we got here.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that opened my eyes to, hey, I can actually have quality health care.
Yeah, our son had surgery here, and the surgery that he had in the States would have probably been in the neighborhood of $15,000-$20,000.
Right.
And it wasn't. It wasn't maybe what percent? 10?
I wouldn't even dare say that. The whole thing, and that was paying out of pocket. Y'all.
And
paying out of pocket.
Here's the cool thing. I remember growing up, doctors making house calls. They will make house calls here. They will call you. They give you a telephone number and their WhatsApp information. Even for our fur babies here, I took Louie down for a vet visit, and the vet wasn't there. She was out on a call. She called Angela the other day to check on Louie. But this happens with the physicians here. They do that kind of thing. Gabrielle had a nasal infection or something like that. The doctor gave us her information. She called to check up on Gabrielle. Ben's surgeon called to check up on him to make sure everything went well, and follow-up exams. And the cost is
Yeah.
far less than what you would be charged or even have to pay
Yeah.
in the United States. That's why in some cases when you get insurance here, you pay for insurance, but a lot of the times the treatments, exams, and things like that, we pay out of pocket.
Yeah. Now, Mexico does have nationalized health insurance.
Yes.
Health insurance that is available to residents of Mexico. They won't turn you away. If something happens and you have a medical emergency and you show up at their hospital, they're not going to be like, where's your insurance? You know, they're not going to do that to you. Their insurance, IMSS, I believe is the acronym, where you would go to get your insurance, is based upon your age. So I know for Lamar and I to be covered, full coverage for our insurance, given our ages, would be about $1,000 a year. $1,000.
That
and
includes emergency, general checkups, prescriptions,
diagnostic care, preventative care, all of that.
yes.
All of that. And here's the other misnomer. Sometimes people go, well, yeah, but the privatized healthcare is better. You're always going to get better when you do private. However, here in Querétaro, now we can only speak to here in Querétaro. Querétaro has very good hospitals that are public hospitals. They have good hospitals that are public hospitals. And in the
Yes.
area of Querétaro where we live is a new public hospital.
Yes.
So I'll just say that
and state of the art. This is, I mean, they make it sound like sometimes that, you know, in other countries, they're walking around here slicing people open and throwing leeches on them to, you know, cure them. And that's that's not true. I mean, it's just not true at all. It's far from it. So it definitely is something to consider when you talk about healthcare.
Oh, for
what
sure.
You're going to get, how much it costs, the cost of it, and what they cover.
I had to have surgery on my eye.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, she's great.
Fantastic doctor who checked up on me to make sure everything was, how you feeling, you doing all right, you know, all that kind of stuff. The doctors have all been fantastic for us. We've got some, let's check in with folks while we're here. We've got, Herman and Dee.
Yeah. What's up, Herman and Dee?
Hi, Eileen.
Yeah.
Hey, Virgil. Greetings from Manchester, England. That's wonderful. Thank you. And Pam. Hey, Pam, I saw your question. Let's check this out.
Okay.
Pam said, for someone who likes city living with opportunities for small town feel options, yes, could Querétaro be a good fit? She was here in August and loved it. Wants to live in Central because she doesn't drive. Okay. What would you say?
Yeah, you can get that small town feel here. In Central, especially.
Oh yeah, in Central,
especially because
Querétaro is for us the perfect blend of a modern city,
right,
with a colonial vibe.
Yes,
you know what I mean. You get the best of both worlds when you're looking at Querétaro. It's not too it's not too, what's the word I want to use? It's not too, I was trying to, ironically, the word in Spanish is coming forward. That's crazy. But it's not too antiquated that it's just like nothing happens here.
Right.
But yet also it's not too modern that, you know, you can't still capture a colonial vibe that comes for living in a place. Now, you definitely feel like, especially when you're in Centro, right, you feel like you are in a colonial Spanish town.
It has a colonial face, but a modern underbelly, because
I like that.
It definitely has the modern technology things in the background, as far as internet, as far as how you shop, when you shop, when you're at a restaurant, how you pay, things like that. So it's not some backwards town,
Oh yeah,
or
no,
no, that doesn't exist.
no.
As a matter of fact, I had no expectation when I came to Querétaro, to Mexico. I was pleasantly surprised though when seeing how things operate here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the big thing for me was having the internet capability to make sure that we're able to work from home. Kids could do their schoolwork
Right.
and online things like that.
Right.
So it does have all that. And contrary to belief, when we talk about the health and facilities here, infrastructure, things like that, Mexico is not that place what is made out to be in what you hear in the United States. It's not. And you'll find that with other countries. We visited Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Lisbon is beautiful. Our friends,
South Africa, been to South
are
Africa,
there.
been to Costa Rica.
Khaleesi and Rick,
Hey guys.
and they, they're thriving there, and others that we met there. So, the propaganda that the United States has a lock on civilization, as it were.
Yeah.
No, there you need to get outside your bubble.
Yeah.
You need to go and travel to
For sure.
see. And the only thing that actually is for me that's kind of cumbersome right now is language, and I'm learning Spanish. Once I get that out of the way, it's the people here. I've found my tribe
Mm-hmm.
here, and meeting friends and people that help out, that will do for you. That to me is huge when it comes to having neighbors, being in a community where people want to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool. Now the other consideration is education.
True. Very true.
For
Education.
for yourself. Interesting thing about education, when Ben was having his surgery,
Ben, our son, he was 18.
18. Well, he's 19.
He was 18 at the time.
His surgeon was explaining to us how education for doctors here, they go not going to just your basic courses and stuff like that before you get pre-med and all that stuff, and you get residency. They start from jump.
Yeah.
They go straight in, and start working on
paired with the doctor to help you learn and all
the
that
courses
kind of stuff.
and the classes and things like that.
Right.
So, and they also train, and as they're all, she said, all doctors here are general practitioners, and then they choose a specialty.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's ear, nose, and throat, or neurological, or things like that, they choose a specialty.
Education is very, in terms of college education, very affordable
here. Yes.
Outside the United States, it's very affordable. So I would recommend looking into other countries to see what kinds of educational opportunities might be available. Say you have a bachelor's degree, there are countries that will pay you, that encourage you.
Yes.
Come over here and do your doctorate.
Right. Because
here.
in hopes that you'll stay.
Right. And so they really want to maintain an educated workforce.
Yes.
And grow that in-house. And that's important to some countries. Yeah. And so you want to look at that type of thing. Look at education for your kids when you are considering moving abroad and you're bringing kids with you, regardless of the age. You want to make sure you're looking at the educational opportunities that might be available for them. Yeah. Will you homeschool? Is that something that can be done? Can my kids go to the local school? If I have a brand new kindergartner, can my kindergartner start off going to the local schools and
friends
be
of
able
ours
to?
Have a, is he kindergarten?
I think he's first grade.
First grade. He's at school now, loving it.
What kind of public schools? What kind of private schools are available?
Right.
Not most of these children who we've come in contact with, they the children whose parents brought them abroad with them, they are thriving.
Yes.
And when I say thriving, these kids have picked that language up,
right,
and they are rolling with it.
yeah, that little fella is going to be like Mr. Fluent Spanish
Yeah.
in no time.
It's crazy to see how these kids
I mean, but they're sponges anyway. So
Yeah.
he's going to suck all that up.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And they really do.
And he's repeating everything right now. I mean, he's just doing it right now.
He's doing well.
Yes.
You were just talking about this one.
Oh.
Community support.
Yeah. Community support. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to definitely consider. Does the area that you're moving to already have a Black expat or expat community? Lots of locations in Mexico have their very own community. If you can look it up on Facebook or hook up with a group,
Right.
maybe perhaps in WhatsApp, that will connect you. There are apps out there that will connect expat communities.
It's interesting that the communities here, they tend to use, and of course, because of the language, WhatsApp a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They use WhatsApp a lot to communicate. Sometimes
make appointments for dog vet cleanings,
grooming. Yeah. Even for the kids in their teen activities, the homeschool group,
mm-hmm.
they communicate that way. But having a good support structure, I mean,
that's going to make all the difference.
Yeah,
it really will. That will make all the difference between having a successful expat experience or being alone and feeling miserable. Reaching out and building a community, finding your tribe.
Yes,
that's going to be huge in terms of making you feel welcome, and to even get acclimated into the culture and acclimated into the climate and the environment that you're now in. Having that community support, finding yourself in the midst of community is going to make the difference. It definitely will make the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've discussed all of the major points.
Yeah.
Any questions from you guys, we will entertain. We're trying to make sure that we covered all of the things that persons might have had a question about. We decided to move to Querétaro for a number of reasons.
Yes, current climate, or
the political climate
the last few years.
We had it.
Just general burnout,
life
changes.
What actually happened was we pretty much knew this is going to be a permanent move. I'll get this one. But we knew that in the off chance that we would possibly want to stay, we came with the mindset that we were coming for good and we were going to make this move for good. One of the things that we looked at when we were talking about moving, and this was very important to not only me, but it was definitely important to Lamar, is we thought about how we wanted our life to be, what we wanted life to look like. When you start approaching retirement age, right, Coco? When you start approaching retirement age, it really became very important to me to think about, what will life look like? What will my day-to-day existence look like? Because I had done the being burned out thing. I knew what that looked like. I didn't want to look like that. So for you, think about what you want your life to look like. Close your eyes and imagine what a day in your life would look like. I got up and I did what? What was my day? And then begin to start creating that life. For us, I knew that when we got to the point of retirement, I would want to be able to sit down and have a cup of tea and enjoy reading my books and things of that nature, to be able to to scrapbook and to crochet and knit and cross stitch and do all of the things that I love doing in terms of crafts. Those are all the things that were important to me. But I can do those anywhere. For him, however, look, see,
Oh my goodness.
that's her main guy. You saw that? She didn't want me. She wants him. But for him, it was important to me that he be able to do his hobby
Yes.
of remote control car racing. And so when we were talking about finding a place abroad and moving abroad, I put it out to him first and foremost, find us a track. Where do they have tracks where you could actually be able to go racing? Because that was a large part of a consideration of what we wanted life to look like. I
Right.
would like for him to be able to race and do his, the hobby that he enjoys and has enjoyed for 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
I'd like for him to be able to do that. So that was something for us that brought us to Querétaro. We get that question all the time. Why Querétaro?
That
It's
was
because they have an RC track.
yeah. Everything else was in place. The climate.
Yes.
The
Check. Warm climate, moderate temperate
Yes.
in the eternal spring plain. Check.
Yes.
Stable environment. Check.
Yes.
High speed internet. Check.
Check.
Does it have a Black community? Yes.
Yes.
Check. Does it have a Starbucks?
Yes. Does it have
high speed internet? Check.
Yes.
Colleges and universities?
Check.
So it met all of those initial prerequisites that we would want to have in our location. And it also had a track.
Yes.
Yeah. So did you, I don't think people understand when we're talking about remote control car racing, what Lamar is actually talking about. So Lamar prepared a little something for y'all.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean, I threw together some pictures of some of the stuff that have been taken since I've been here.
Oh, since you've been here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So go ahead. So this is the track here in Querétaro. It's the largest one here in Mexico, period, in the country. There are 3 tracks down near Mexico City, really nice tracks. However, this is the largest one. Now, this is some of my pit stuff. That's my cars. I mostly race 1/8 scale cars. They're fuel powered, top speeds of up to 70, 75 miles per hour.
Yeah. This is all stuff that he brought with us,
Yes.
guys, by the way.
Yes, this is stuff I've been, as you said, curating since 1998, since I started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the track is fairly large. Good guys there. I was welcomed there with open arms. This is me in the driving stand. You have a handheld remote with the car on track, and that's my car, actually, the yellow one right there. And that was at a Jusco when I went to the track in Mexico City. This is in Querétaro. This is my very first time since racing, coming in first. And it was unreal experience. I was thrilled, but at the same time, I was like, wow, I'm actually doing this. This is very cool. This is another podium. Came in second, same track here in Querétaro. Had a blast and been having. And when I talk about community, when I show up, the guys are looking for me, making good friends, being offered libations sometimes at the track, which is, pretty cool. It's fun. It's one of my trophies in front of my pit box. So there's a video here of that car right there that my friend was recording for me. This is that when my first time coming in first in race.
How fast did you say this?
70 to 75 miles per hour in straight. Cornering speeds probably, depending on the corners, high speed corners probably around 35, sometimes 40 miles per hour. 2-speed transmission, so they automatically shift, that kind of thing. Aerodynamic bodies, the fuel is mixed with alcohol and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just very, very quick, very, very fast, and a lot of fun. Um, so, um, so it's a cool, I think, my opinion, cool, very cool hobby.
Yeah.
Doing it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so that was that. Now you guys know that is the prime reason that we came to Querétaro, because of the track that exists here in the city.
Yes.
Actually, from where we live, the track is only about 2-3 minutes up the road.
Yes.
So he's able to race a lot, and that was important. So you decide what's important to you in terms of what will create the life that you just absolutely can't wait to get up and live every day.
Yeah.
And that's what we want definitely for you. We hope this video has been helpful.
Yes.
Pam asked a question: would we be willing to offer a workshop on moving to Mexico with your fur babies?
Absolutely.
Yes, we're planning to do so.
Yes.
They're planning to use us as a way to tell people about how to move to Mexico with me, Coco.
She's looking at you like, what in the world is
She's
going
like,
on?
okay, thank you, Mom. Okay. Yeah, no, you stay with me, Coco. You always want daddy. But yes, we will. We will be offering having a
we
workshop.
drove here with Candy
Mhm.
back here, and
Our oldest,
and our dearly departed
Lucky.
He was the oldest.
Well, she's our oldest
Was
now.
Yeah. But we drove here.
Mhm.
They were no problem. It was easy.
We will be offering that so that you'll know how to bring your dogs into the country, or
Yes.
cats or ferrets or whatever animal. And then also to look at the level of paperwork that you need to travel in and out of the country with the dogs.
You know, we've experienced some, they change
And
on the
they
fly.
have recently just changed the regulations. So yes, we
Yeah.
will be doing that
Yes.
because they're part of our family.
Yes.
And I know you probably have some that are part of yours. And listen, living here and living our best life, living an abundant life, would not be the same without a
Puppies.
dog involved.
Yes. And we have 3.
Yes, we do have 3. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that it? Are we?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you guys again.
Thank
If you
you.
have not, click that like button. It would help us immensely.
And
If you have not subscribed, subscribe.
join the family.
Join the family, because we always come live every month for a what we call.
First of all.
Yeah, you're supposed to do the song, Lamar. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
We'll catch you guys later.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Say bye, Coco.